Have you ever wondered what existed before the very first breath of the universe? Before the stars, before time itself, there was only emptiness, a profound, silent, mysterious void. But how did this absolute zero give birth to everything we know? Think of a seed, hollow and empty within, buried in the dark earth. It suddenly erupts into a magnificent tree, full of life and fragrance, only to eventually fade right back into the dust. This is the eternal dance, the unknown, mysterious mystery of absolute and emptiness in the existence. Within you, this exact same cosmic dance is happening right now. The delicate balance of your lunar and solar energy pushing and pulling, waiting for you to find that still center, the Sushumna, where time stops, and you become the infinite witness. Legend tells of a wise village of Sufi saints who once sent a bowl completely full of milk to Guru Nanak Dev. A silent, proud message meaning, "We are already full of wisdom. There is no room for more." But the Nanak smiled, gently placed a single weightless flower upon the milk and returned it. The message? Even when you think you are absolutely full, there is always room for the divine. Becoming complete takes lifetimes of effort, but becoming empty? That happens in an instant. When you act from pure selflessness, you empty yourself, and the universe rushes in to fill you back up, multiplied 1,000 times over. Are you ready to become empty, so you can finally become everything?
Today's satsang is about the unknown mysterious mystery of absolute or completeness and emptiness in existence. You will be able to understand it only when you listen to it with great depth. First of all, understand that our universe has evolved from emptiness. Before creation, there was emptiness everywhere. Just like a seed, which is empty within, only sprouts when it comes in contact with the emptiness of the earth, and after sprouting it slowly becomes a tree and becomes complete. This is like the union and conception of the seed with the earth. After this it becomes a plant and then a tree. The tree gives fruits, flowers and fragrance. Then it becomes complete. After full development, it slowly returns to emptiness and merges back into the earth. In other words, it dissolves into that from which it was born. This is the life play of a plant and a tree, and human life also moves in the same way. In life, fullness and emptiness are the two great states. You can experience this in your life. All other states exist only between these two states. Purna, that is, absolute, and emptiness, that is, emptiness, are the two vast states. When there is emptiness, it slowly strives to become absolute. After becoming complete or absolute, it again gradually turns into emptiness. Just like the moon appears as emptiness on Amavasya, that is, new moon, and becomes absolute on Purnima, that is, full moon, and then again slowly begins to become emptiness. This is what happens in every person's life, and this is the universal presence of Purna and emptiness in existence. Now understand in another way, as one is, so the form one attains. From absolute, absolute emerges, and what remains is also complete or absolute. From emptiness, emptiness emerges, and in the end, it remains emptiness. In another way, understand that from ignorance comes ignorance, and only ignorance remains. From the wise comes wisdom, and the wise remain as they are. There is no difference of any kind. This is the mysterious quality of absolute and emptiness in existence. Everyone's tendency creates a similar kind of creation. This is the principle of the universe. Within us exists the complete divine, Paramatma, and also complete emptiness, because we are born from that same complete divine. Whatever we have is either absolute or emptiness, because Paramatma is complete on one side and empty on the other. We too are the same in nature. Like Paramatma, we are both absolute or complete and emptiness. If we give anything to anyone, still we remain the same. There is no lack of any kind, because we are forms of absolute or emptiness, that is, of divine itself. There can be no deficiency in Paramatma or divine. Paramatma or God gives everything to us, yet nothing is reduced in it. This is the vast form of the Supreme or Par-Brahman, because it gives selflessly to us. Therefore, no lack ever arises. In the same way, if we also give something to anyone with a selfless feeling, there will be no deficiency in us. This is the nature of Paramatma, and this is the law of creation. As long as you remain in the state of a witness, you are in the form of Paramatma. This itself is the form of emptiness. In this state, you naturally abide in selflessness. And whatever actions you perform in this selfless state are just like the actions of Paramatma. Vasishtha Muni, who was the guru of Sri Rama, had the divine cow, Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu used to give endlessly, yet nothing ever diminished in her. She was complete in all qualities and offered everything with a selfless feeling. In the same way, you too are absolute or complete, emptiness, and the witness. You are everything. You are also a form of divine. No lack can ever arise in you. You are your own self. The self itself gives to the self. If you give to another, that other is also your own form. Your feeling should be that you are giving to your own self. When you give with selflessness, it becomes clear that the self is giving to itself. In this, no deficiency can ever arise. All deficiencies begin only from our inner feeling. There should be no selfishness in the feeling. Then you will see others as your own form, and you will feel that you are giving only to yourself. If we look at the physical body, within us there is the mind and there is consciousness. The mind has two parts, the right mind and the left mind. The mind on the right side is spiritual in nature. It carries devotion, sensitivity, and emotional fullness, and it represents the feminine aspect. The right mind is influenced by the left nostril. This is the Chandra Nadi or lunar channel. If the flow of breath in your left nostril is clear and unobstructed, it means your right mind is in devotion, in spirituality, and is sensitive. The left mind, on the other hand, is worldly. It thinks, remains busy, and lacks emotional depth and sensitivity. That is why you see that those whose left mind is more developed tend to be worldly in nature. In them, emotionality and sensitivity are very minimal. Such people can also be scientists. They are completely logical and worldly, and you cannot easily defeat them in argument. This is the nourishing, masculine aspect of the mind. The left mind influences the right nostril. This is the Surya Nadi or solar channel. Those who remain engaged in worldly activities often breathe predominantly through the Surya Nadi, through the right nostril. Within us exists the moon-like feminine channel and the sun-like masculine channel. These are known as Ida and Pingala. When the breath flows equally through both channels, understand that the union of the masculine and feminine has taken place. This itself is completeness. The purpose is that one is half feminine and half masculine. Just like Lord Shiva is in the form of Ardhanarishvara. When the breath flows equally through both channels, at that time the Sushumna Nadi becomes activated, and the breath leaves both channels and begins to flow through the subtle central channel. Because of this, the speed of breath becomes slower. And when the breath flows through the Sushumna Nadi, you can easily enter into the state of meditation. This itself is the form of the divine. The purpose of easily entering meditation is that you come into emptiness. This is your state of emptiness. When the breath flows equally through both channels, a person rises above sensual desires. At that point, the Kundalini energy awakens and gradually passes through all the chakras, moving into the vast cosmos. This is the state of emptiness and absolute within a person. Because in this state, one is neither with the solar channel nor with the lunar channel, one goes beyond both. One abides in the Sushumna Nadi, and this itself is the supreme state, or in another way, it is the state of emptiness and absolute. In this state, a person becomes free from thoughts and also free from emotional fluctuations. In this state, whether you give something to someone or receive something from someone, nothing increases or decreases. Because this is the state of the divine. A human being, in this state, becomes one with the universe. He sees the form of consciousness in everything. The universe itself appears as an expression of consciousness. No harm or disease can affect such a one, because this is the state of emptiness, the state of the divine. In emptiness, no one can be harmed. A person falls into illusion, and this is the mystery of absolute or complete and emptiness. In life, it is very essential that before doing anything, one must have awareness of the breath. One should know whether the breath is flowing through the left channel or the right channel. If two people are in conversation and both are breathing through the same channel, either both through the right or both through the left, they can communicate very skillfully. But if one person's breath shifts from left to right, and the others from right to left, then they will not be able to influence each other's thoughts, and misunderstandings may begin to arise. In an ordinary person, the flow of breath in the channels keeps changing approximately every 1 to 1¼ hour. If the breath continues to flow through the Sushumna Nadi, then the person rises above worldly tendencies, and their life begins to move in alignment with the divine. In this state, the Kundalini energy passes through all the chakras and reaches the Sahasrara, crown chakra. The person becomes free from thoughts and enters the no-mind state, a state where the mind no longer exists. This is the state of Shiva. In this state, the energy of Parvati or Shakti unites with Shiva, the no-mind state, and emptiness transforms into super-emptiness, the great void. In this state, the seeker easily experiences the witness. This is the true form of witnessing, when the witness, the seer, and the seen become one. Then everything becomes emptiness. One realizes that as I am, so is the other. One sees one's own self in everything. This is non-duality. This is the nature of Brahman, the Supreme. One sees everything as emptiness. Emptiness cannot harm emptiness, because both are the same state. Everything is one. When this realization arises that all is one, then a person does not give pain to anyone in any form. The seeker, in this state, becomes free from desires. One becomes completely desireless. This itself is the state of liberation. In this liberated state, in emptiness, expansion happens effortlessly, and this emptiness moves faster than light. When any movement is extremely fast, the sense of time disappears. It feels as if everything has stopped. In this state, there is neither space nor time. Everything becomes emptiness. When there are no space and no time, all is emptiness. In this state, if you give anything to anyone, no deficiency can arise in you, because this is the divine state. Instantly, you become complete. This can also be understood in another way. If you give someone money or material things, then your wealth may decrease and theirs may increase. With the reduction of material, a sense of emptiness may arise in you. But if you have given with a pure and selfless feeling, then it means you have given from the state of emptiness. You have given seeing the other as the universe itself. And in the universe, true emptiness can never really exist. In this state, if you give something, it immediately returns to you in some form or another. That is why it is said that any charity or virtuous action should be done with a selfless feeling. This is where its true value lies. If you give with selfish intention or try to help someone with expectation, then it is no longer charity, it becomes a transaction. If your intention is not pure, then whatever you do will not return to you from the divine, because you acted with selfishness, with the hope of gaining something in return, perhaps to increase your wealth. In this world and in spirituality, everything operates according to one's inner feeling. Feeling and emptiness together are the form of the divine, and true feeling is selflessness. Understand selflessness in another way. Whatever you do, after doing it, you become empty. And the moment you act with this feeling, that emptiness is instantly filled. That is why, if you feed someone or give in charity with selfless intention, in that very moment everything becomes complete within you again. Because selfless feeling itself is the feeling of emptiness, and emptiness is the form of Paramatma. If you understand the inner nature of love, love is a spiritual force. Love itself is divine. If you love someone or share your love, the love you give enters the other's heart. Because the divine is the form of love, and also emptiness. This expands instantly, spreading everywhere. And it returns to you immediately, multiplied many times. We are all connected with each other. Every person is connected to another through emptiness. So, when you give love, it comes back to you instantly, many times over. In the same way, knowledge and wisdom are also given through emptiness. This is a divine power. When given with selflessness, they return to the giver multiplied many times, because emptiness expands with immense speed. When you share love, knowledge, or wisdom, they come back to you many times over in a moment. But if you do it for money or for praise, then it becomes a transaction. It will not bring you peace. That is not a selfless action. It is very important to understand what feeling lies behind every action. A pure feeling alone expands in emptiness. Love, intelligence, and knowledge increase instantly. Whatever material you give to someone will return to you in time, often in greater measure, because it is physical, it is gross. In this world, everything is bidirectional, it moves both ways. This is the principle of action. Often, this happens without delay, because the transmission occurs in emptiness, at the level of mind and consciousness. The special point is this: if you act without the desire for results, that is, in the no-mind state, where there is no mind, then there is no worldly motive, no thought. You are in emptiness. Acting in this way is like offering everything to the divine. This is divine power, and through this, your own divine power also increases. In another language, this is called a karma, that is, non-doer action. A karma itself brings the true fruit. Action done without expectation becomes divine action. It leads you towards the divine. But if you act with desire, then according to Newton's third law, you will receive the result accordingly. Every action brings a reaction. From karma comes counteraction. From non-doer action, actions becomes null. Understand this deeply. Through action, action continues, but through non-doer action, action dissolves. If you act, there will inevitably be a reaction. Even service, if done without desire for results, becomes Nishkama, the selfless action, and that alone brings true fruit. If you serve to gain name and fame, then no real fruit comes from it. That is why it is said, do and let go, do not expect the result. Only action done without expectation gives peace and brings true joy in life. The actions you perform with effort and goals for worldly achievement are ordinary actions. All wealth-related actions are ordinary. But actions done beyond time and space are truly great. All the great discoveries in the world have happened when one went beyond time and space. Michael Faraday, who was a great scientist, is an example of this. He discovered the wonder of electricity suddenly. Many discoveries happen only after coming out of a state of deep meditation. When a person goes beyond time and space, this happens. This is the principle of emptiness and completeness. Emptiness means actions done through the will of the divine. This alone brings true results. This is the law of the universe. When energy flows through the Sushumna Nadi, it moves upward. It connects with the divine. It expands into the universe. It becomes one with the eternal melody, the Anahad Naad. Through this, expansion happens. Through this, self-realization is attained. Only when there is no blockage in your IDA and Pingala Nadis can you easily enter the state of meditation. When a drop merges into the ocean, it becomes the ocean. And when the ocean merges into a drop, you can imagine how great the drop becomes. It gains all kinds of richness and vastness. In the end, understand that our body is made of 5 elements. It is a complete form of the universe itself. In it, earth, water, fire, air, and space are beautifully united. These 5 elements keep the body healthy and balanced. Earth provides nourishment and stability to the body. Water gives softness and moisture. The fire element controls digestion and maintains body temperature. Fire and water have opposite natures, yet in the body they remain in balance so that the body stays stable. The air element kindles the fire. Through the process of breathing, you can activate the fire element. Prana develops and expands energy. But understand this: earth, water, fire, and air all exist within the space element. Space itself is the form of consciousness. Therefore, if you develop your consciousness, all the elements will also develop. Your body will become completely healthy. Space is emptiness. This itself is the divine. This controls everything. Knowledge arises in emptiness. Health improves and divine energy flows in. And by becoming aware of your breath, you can even reach the highest state of samadhi or a state of ecstasy. This is the deep mystery of emptiness and completeness. From this come intellect, wisdom, self-realization, and good health, and a person walks on the path of growth. Bringing emptiness into life is easier. Just like when you overturn a bucket full of water, it instantly becomes empty. The science of emptiness was given by Mahatma Buddha, and Nagarjuna further developed it. The knowledge of completeness is the knowledge of Lord Krishna. Completeness can be half, or even a quarter. Even if something is full, there is still space for one more drop. That is why bringing emptiness is easier than achieving completeness. There is a small story. Guru Nanak Dev once reached a village of Sufis. Everyone there was a wise saint. When they came to know that another wise person had arrived, the Sufis sent a bowl full of milk to Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak looked at the bowl and placed a flower in it, then sent it back. His disciple asked the meaning of this. Guru Nanak said, "The Sufis sent a bowl full of milk to show that the village is already full of wisdom and there is no need for more scholars. By placing a flower in the same full bowl and returning it, I showed that knowledge is never truly complete, there is always space for something more." Then the disciple understood the message behind both the milk and the flower. In life, becoming empty is simple, like turning over a bucket of water and making it empty. But becoming complete is difficult. Completeness can be partial or full, and even after becoming full, something still remains beyond. But nothing remains in emptiness. Emptiness means absolute zero. So there are only two paths to progress. Either become empty or become whole. Becoming empty is much simpler. Only by becoming empty does progress happen with great ease. Even if you give to someone, then you become empty for a moment. This universe instantly fills you up. But it is very difficult to understand how whole you are. Even with a little knowledge, you can understand yourself to be whole. Even with half knowledge, you can understand yourself as whole. So understanding wholeness and becoming whole is extremely difficult. Being empty is simple and progress happens only in emptiness. Emptiness alone grows by sharing. Wholeness takes time. So this is the unknown hidden secret of wholeness and emptiness in existence. If you understand this yourself in life, practice it and do any work with a selfless spirit, then you will get success. If you give wealth, then that too will return. If you share love, knowledge and wisdom, then instantly it will return to you multiplied many times. The more of the Lord's knowledge you acquire, the more you share, the more you bring into life, it will come to you multiplied many times. Peace will come in life, progress will happen, health will be found, and realization of the divine in life will happen easily. This is the secret of wholeness and emptiness. Thank you.